Hi folks, Hugo Rivera here with HugoRivera.net. How you all doing today? Just decided to go ahead and do a Facebook Live starting today. I'm gonna go ahead and try to do one of these on a daily basis because my my inbox via my Facebook, my Twitter, in fact all my social medias, and my personal inbox as well is just completely flooded with daily questions. And I figured, I said, you know what, if I go ahead and take the time to do a little video every single day, maybe I can go ahead and help out a whole bunch of people. So with that said, hey, how are you? I see people coming on. How you all doing? So anyways, hi there. Hi there. How you all doing? Good to see you all. Hey Craig, how are you, man? Hope your program's going well. I haven't trained today yet, but I'm gonna get to it. You probably did your training already, so you're ahead of me. Hey, doing great, thank you. So anyways, let's go ahead and talk about getting motivated, okay? Today's Motivation Monday, and like I said, I'm gonna go ahead and do this video and talk about how to stay motivated, because I get a whole bunch of questions from people talking about the motivation, and they don't know how to be motivated, they don't know how to start a program. So my question to you all is, what gets you motivated? Why is it that you want to go ahead and do a body sculpting or bodybuilding program? Why is it that you want to go ahead and change your physique? You know, that's the ticket. You got to get back to that original question. Why is it that you want to change? Okay, I'll share my personal story. Back when I started, I was obese, and I was not happy at all with the way that I looked. I mean, I was happy up until I hit my teenage years, and then when I hit my teenage years, it was not acceptable anymore for me to look the way that I did. So that started causing pain for me. I was not comfortable in my skin, and that gave me the motivation to want to do something about it. Okay, unfortunately, I didn't have the good plan. I ended up going anorexic and almost killed myself in the process. And then I was only like less than 90 pounds wet, which in terms of kilos is like less than 40 kilo or so. And that's my story right there. You know, then I basically got taken to a nutritionist. The nutritionist told me food is not going to make you fat. It's only the abuse of the wrong sorts of foods that will. She put me on a good plan that got me started into my whole journey. And then I started reading muscle magazines because I was too scrawny. I was so tiny that then I was not comfortable in my skin then, back when I was that skinny. So of course my motivation through all this always was the fact that I didn't want to go back to how I was at the beginning. I was just completely miserable with the way that I looked, and I kept on thinking every single time that I wanted to cheat on my diet or wanted to toss the program, I said to myself, I need to remember why I'm doing this. And this is what I tell you all. When you start the program, have a solid reason, write it down. Why is it that you're doing this? Okay? Because there must be a big reason, and that reason needs to be so strong that it's kind of like if you were drowning and you wanted to breathe. Obviously, if you're drowning, you want to breathe pretty badly. You'll do whatever it takes to go ahead and breathe. So that's the same thing. You need to go ahead and have a reason that makes you feel that way, that just, you wake up and that's the first thing that you're thinking of, okay? If you don't have that kind of reason, if you don't have that kind of fire inside of you, then you just don't want it enough, okay? Then the reason is not compelling enough. Your reason needs to be painful enough to where the pain of staying there is much bigger than the pain of changing your ways and embarking on a body sculpting program. Okay? That's the whole ticket right there. And that's really the secret. Okay? You just need to have the right reason for embarking on the program. So write that reason down, post it on your fridge if you need to, or post it anywhere that you go ahead and see it on a daily basis, and remind yourself why is it that you're doing this. Especially when the going gets tough and you want to go ahead and cheat on the diet, cheat on the training, and not do your training programs, that's when you want to go ahead and really think of this reason, okay? That's the whole ticket right there for staying motivated. Other things that I like to do for staying motivated is that I like to go ahead and put this is a technique that worked really good for me at the beginning. I like to go ahead and put together a collage of pictures in my case, of the bodybuilders that I wanted to look like. So I had like a collage of like Schwarzenegger, of Frank Zane, of Dave Draper, Francis Benfato. All those guys were in my fridge. So whenever I wanted to go ahead and cheat on the diet and stuff, I had that collage over there, and that reminded me. Also, another thing that worked for me was to go ahead and have a picture of how I used to look back when I started, obese and all. Because that really and truly reminded me of the reasons that I'm doing this, okay? For some people, that doesn't work. It depresses them if they go ahead and see a picture of how they currently look. So if that is the case with you, don't do that part. Just go ahead and put a picture of the people that you want to go ahead and look like, and that's the ticket, okay? Just inspire yourself that way. But every single day, just remember why you're doing this. Be sure, however, that you have the right plan. The right plan is the key, because you don't want to end up like I did in a situation where I didn't have a plan. I did the best I could. People told me, well, if you're fat, it's because you're eating too much, you need to stop eating. Well, I kind of like took it to the whole next level, and I stopped eating. So I ended up almost killing myself, like I said. So you need to have a good plan. I'll be posting below over here a link at the end of the live with my newsletter sign-up link, which will give you a 21-day free program that you can go ahead and follow, and it'll get you started. It's totally free, okay? And it also has a free, a free webinar that goes ahead and tells you about, more about motivation, more about training, more about nutrition. And then, you can also check out my books. Here you go. Body Sculpting Bible for Men, and the one for the ladies, right? Those you can go ahead and find on Amazon.com. But suffice it to say, just with my newsletter and my website, I have a ton of free information out there that can go ahead and get you started on the right path. So there's no excuse, okay? You gotta get the plan, and you gotta get it going. And you know what? Don't think that you need to stay in the gym for 2 hours. This is a big, big myth. There's no need to go ahead and train for 2 hours at a time. In fact, after 45 minutes, your testosterone levels begin to go down, your cortisol levels begin to go up. Cortisol is a stress hormone, and what it does is that it protects body fat, and it kills muscle tissue. So the more you train after 45 minutes, the more you put yourself in the hole, so to speak. So it is counterproductive to do that. So again, it goes back to the fact that you need a solid program. If you don't have a solid program, forget it. It's just you're just going to waste a lot of time. You're going to get a lot of frustration, like I did for years trying to figure stuff out. So, you need a solid plan. The diet, balanced diet, 40% carbs, 40% proteins, 20% good fats. It's what I recommend for starting out, okay? And after a couple of weeks, based on your results, you'll go up a little bit in nutrients, or you go down a little bit in nutrients, okay? That's how you go ahead and modulate this. One thing that you gotta remember though, is that most people start a diet and they think that if you wanna lose body fat, you gotta eat less and less over time. Huge, huge mistake. Because remember the following, if you're weight training correctly, you're gonna gain muscle, all right? Every 10 pounds of muscle that you gain is 500 calories that you were not burning before, okay? This is huge, because now your metabolism is increasing. So if you used to burn 2,000 calories before, now you burn 2,500 just by being at rest. This is why weight training increases your metabolism permanently. The ticket here is that as you gain muscle, you got to upgrade your caloric intake, okay? Because otherwise, your body is going to go into emergency mode, and you're just not going to respond correctly. Your body's going to go ahead and preserve the fat and try to kill the muscle tissue if you keep going down, down, down in calories, okay? This is why people hit that plateau and then they cannot get over it. That's the issue, all right? You got to work with your body, not against it. That's number one. Number two, as you gain muscle, you got to feed that metabolic tissue. If you're not feeding it, the body will go into emergency mode and be like, you know what, you're not feeding me enough, so I'm not going to go ahead and put muscle, I'm not going to go ahead and lose body fat, all right? You got to remember, the body is always trying to protect itself. It doesn't know that you're weight training and dieting to go ahead and look good. It only thinks of survival. That's all that the body thinks of. So if the body thinks it's getting shortchanged, it's going to protect itself by building up and protecting its fat stores and by tossing away the muscle tissue, because the muscle tissue, like I said, every pound is 50 calories extra that your body burns, okay? So 10 pounds is 500 calories extra, which means that the body is really spending a lot of calories, okay? So if the body doesn't see that you're feeding it, it's going to go ahead and bring that down, all right? So keep that in mind when you're doing your programs. And of course, a lot of you unfortunately forget that. If you're trying to do a body sculpting program here, you got to do away with the alcohol. The alcohol is going to depress your testosterone levels. It makes it very easy for you to store body fat. It's not a good thing. So, I mean, this is what you need to be drinking. Water. This is I'm on my second gallon today already, believe it or not. Pretty crazy. But some days I drink more than others. Some days, most of the time, I just drink 1 gallon. Some days, I don't know, some days I just need more water. So I just go by how I feel. But anyway, suffice it to say, you need to drink your water. 0.66 times the amount of weight that you have in pounds equals the amount of water you need every single day. So water, remember, most of the body is made out of water. So if you don't go ahead and hydrate it properly, your fat burning and your muscle building is going to be compromised, and it's not going to be good for you. So keep drinking up, okay? Don't forget that. Let me see, anything else for today? I think that's pretty much it. I think that the key thing to remember here is, for staying motivated, for becoming motivated, first of all, find the reason why you're doing this, okay? Write it down. Remember it every single day. Don't forget it. If you forget it, you will toss the program eventually. Number 2, find a good program that is going to go ahead and give you the results. And like I said, I'm posting a link below with my newsletter, which will go ahead and send you tons of information that will help you on your path. And number 3, make sure also that you track your progress on a bi-weekly basis, because by tracking your progress, and by tracking your progress I mean, go ahead and take some pictures of yourself, measure your waistline, perhaps measure your arms and other measurements. Like you can measure everything really, you know, chest and back, arms, waistline, hips, thighs, calves, measure all that stuff, all right? Take some pictures, take your weight. 2 weeks later, do the same thing. Here's the deal. If you lost inches on your waistline and you have not lost any weight, what that means is that you gain muscle and lost body fat at the same time. And you should be able to see it in your pictures. That's motivation and a half right there, okay? So this is why it's crucial that you go ahead and track your progress, because if you're not tracking your progress, you will not be motivated, because you don't have any kind of like visual to go ahead and show you that you're moving in the right direction, okay? So this is key for motivation right there. So again, I'll repeat it one last time. You know, find your purpose, the reason why you're doing this, write it down and engrain it in your head. Number 2, follow the right plan. And number 3, you need to go ahead and track your progress on a bi-weekly basis. Let's see, I'll go ahead and see if I can answer some questions, and then I'll let you guys go, and then I'll be back tomorrow at 12 noon New York time, Eastern time, okay? I did it a little bit later today because I had some technical difficulties here. But let me see. I see a question here. How long have you trained? Oh, me? I've been training now for almost 30 years. Obviously, you don't need to train that long to achieve my results. You just need to go ahead and follow a good program and just be Spartan about it, day in and day out. And you'll go ahead and get a great physique in like no time. I mean, honestly, with 2 years of hard work, I've seen my clients go from like obese to like competition ready. Because some of my clients have done that. They've gone from total obesity to contest ready physique. And it has happened in 2 years, okay? So 2 years sounds like a long time, but if you really think about it, it goes very, very quickly. And in 2 years, you're either going to look the same or worse if you don't do anything about it, all right? Most of the time what I see is people getting worse over time because they don't take care of their body. So as a result, the body degrades, right? Let me see if there are any other questions as well. Can I use creatine, BCAAs, and amino acids as well as protein? Yes, you can. The key thing is, though, that if you're going to go ahead and use all those supplements, your training, your nutrition, your sleep, all has to be impeccable, okay? Otherwise, you're just wasting your money. with all these supplements, all right? So be sure that your training and diet are on point, and only then, after like say 12 to 15 weeks of, you know, doing everything perfectly, then you can go ahead and add these supplements, and they're going to go ahead and give you some really good results. Okay? Remember, supplements do not make up for improper training or diet. That's very important. Let me see. How to gain size? Please suggest me a diet. You know what? I'm posting, like I said at the end of this live, I'm posting a link to my free 21-day program, and that'll get you started on the right track. So another one tells me, what program do you use? Well, basically, my programs, basically what you see over here in the Body Sculpting Bible for Men, I use a program that is periodized, meaning that I like to change the repetitions. I'll do like weeks of higher repetitions, I'll do weeks of lower repetitions, and on the weeks of lower repetitions I'll have a little bit more rest in between sets, and the weeks of higher repetitions I have less rest. Okay, so I also keep changing my exercises so that the body doesn't get used to it. And what I'll do for you is that I'll go ahead and post my link to my YouTube channel, so you go ahead and see my routines, because I go ahead and pretty much I've been posting my latest routines over there, so you can go ahead and take a look. So that should go ahead and help you tremendously, okay? How long do I need to sleep a day? That's a great question. Everybody's sleep is different. Some people need as much as 9 hours. Other people can do away with 6. Me, I oscillate. My body, sometimes I just need 6 hours of sleep. Other times I need 8.5, you know. So it depends. Really and truly listen to your body. And if you feel sleep deprived, what I recommend is that on the days off from work, you go ahead and take advantage of that, and you get extra sleep. That way you're not, you know, walking like a zombie and stuff. Because, I mean, if you're kind of like walking like a zombie, that means that you're sleep deprived. And that's not going to go ahead and help you at all with your gains, okay? Because if you're sleep deprived, your cortisol levels are through the roof. And cortisol, remember, it kills muscle and it preserves fat. So you don't want that. Let me see. Hey, Mr. Hugo, can I request your program? And please send it to me via email. Thanks. Yes, I'm posting the link over here right after the live is done. Okay, so no problems. Let's see what else I have. Which program do you use? I think that's it for today. Love to you all as well. Yes, thank you. I think that's it for today. Like I said, I will be back tomorrow at around this time. I'll be back at 12 noon Eastern time, New York time. Okay. So I'll be covering another topic, and I'll be answering some more questions. All right. Anyways, thank you so much for your time. Thank you for being here, and I really appreciate all of your support. You guys and ladies are the best. Thank you so much for everything. And until next time, take care and train hard.